It's so soothing to listen to the sound of rain, at least if you're like me in that sense. Even the sound of thunder can provide a sense of peacefulness. And if you're indoors, a sense of coziness too. Here's a short poem by Helen Moore that I thought you might enjoy before bedtime. It's called The Water Cycle. When I was young, I used to think that water came from the kitchen sink. But now I'm older and I know that water comes from rain and snow. It stays there waiting in the sky, in clouds above our world so high. And when it falls, it flows along and splashes out a watery song, as each raindrop is joined by more and rushes to the ocean shore, or to a lake, a brook, a stream, from which it rises just like steam. But while it's down here, what do you think? Some does go to the kitchen sink. I hope you liked that one. It reminds me of some of the curiosities we had as children. Positively playful with the mind, full of innocent wonder, perhaps with less responsibilities back then. That inner child is still present. Some of life's difficulties may have made it a bit trickier to access the idea of just being here, and that's okay. Just by listening, you're doing great. Knowing that you are safe to completely relax as it's getting closer to bedtime. And now, since you know that you are safe, you can sink even deeper into relaxation in your chosen place of rest. Feeling even more secure doing so, as you make any adjustments here for comfort. Because this final resting bit of time for relaxation, leading into a more relaxing sleep, will focus on easing any tension of the mind and body. You can rest assured knowing that you're developing the abilities to relax before bed, and any time you may need some self-soothing for that matter. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis, so you really are in complete control here. For these very long-lasting types of benefits, I wonder if you would allow me to quietly direct you now as you're cruising along, simply by listening to these words, while allowing your unconscious to do what it enjoys. And what better way than to delve deeper into relaxation, than to do so while enjoying the sounds of the pouring rain outside. Just as easy as sending relaxation to your head as the rain keeps on falling, down to your shoulders, loosening any tension as your breathing naturally soothes you. sending relaxation down your torso and arms, to the fingertips, the hips, down through the legs, all the way down to the feet. Deeper relaxed, even more welcoming and accepting of these alleviations. From the head all the way down to the feet, releasing the tension from every muscle, down to each and every cell. Just allowing yourself to sink deeper with each passing thought. Noticing the state of enjoyment that is building. Thoughts beginning to pleasantly slow down a bit, or down to a rate that almost mimics the speed of an expansive cloud perched up in the sky, traveling ever so slowly, almost appearing to be still. Until some time has passed, realizing that it's moved from the position it once assumed, perhaps having taken on a slightly new shape, appearing somewhere overhead or off in the distance. And while the surrounding clouds release droplets of calming waters, tapping on various surfaces all around, I wonder if this cloud too might like to join in this tranquil display of serenity, peacefulness on every level. So as thoughts may slowly arise, feel free to accept them regardless of the nature. And on the same note, they could easily be transferred over to this slowly drifting cloud. So as you pass them on, allowing the cloud to increase in weight, thoughts or any residual tensions of the body moving up and into the cloud as it becomes heavier and heavier, absorbing all heaviness of the day, all thoughts of past or future predictions, as your body becomes lighter, freedom to drift along too. Passing them along so they can become something else entirely, effectively transformed, as they will soon fall from the sky in a shower, nourishing the earth below. Gladly collecting these circulations, deep pools of condensation collecting at its lining, unable to do anything but to let go, other than to drop down. The rain releases and falls, raining and seeping into the soil of the earth. And it feels so unbelievably calming to just sort of witness this from a distance, as these overwhelming feelings of peace and joy arise. All weight lifted. And the cloud readily continues to accept these miscellaneous thoughts, which have become easy to forget, difficult to remember, difficult as you remember to forget what the last one was. You may just find that you go pleasantly deeper into hypnosis, entering deeper and deeper, relaxed and entranced. And because achieving this very same feeling of complete relaxation and ease and relief is something that people like yourself truly deserve, you may enjoy playing around with this shortcut, which is as easy as choosing any two of your fingers and simply pressing the tips together now, while you truly enjoy these blissful feelings you've wonderfully created within yourself. Allow yourself to feel the relaxation running through you as you continue to press these fingers together. You could even double the amount of relief and calm within you, basking in this relaxation. Very good. You've created a strong anchor, and now any time of day or night, you can press these same fingers together, and these feelings of relief will come back to you, filling you with calm, feeling safe, secure, assured, confident, anytime you might need soothing. This is a tool I trust you will much enjoy the effects of. And I don't know if tomorrow you will automatically use this anchor during times when you need self-soothing, or if you will use it the following day, but that doesn't matter, because it's your tool to use whenever you need. Breathing in relaxation and breathing out, feeling so relieved. Wonderful. To watch such waters falling from the open sky, where they could then be found dribbling down from leaf to leaf, or tapping on a roof, or collecting in a glass vessel, visualizing the water rising up, filling the container, simultaneously measuring your level of relaxation, expanding to an unlimited capacity, eventually overflowing. It's almost as if you could picture this vessel, however vivid or faint the picture would like to appear. And the higher the water rises in this picture, the more relaxed you feel, feeling almost as though you're floating up, going farther beyond your deepest levels. And when the vessel fills all the way, you will reach the deepest level of trance, because it is so pleasant to enter these deep and tranquil states for your positive transformations. So while we observe this transparent vessel as it receives its first few raindrops, droplets covering the very bottom, feeling so calm. The steady rain rising up, filling the bottom of the glass. Doubling in relaxation. Watching the surface shift upwards as the water deepens, and down, more and more to that neutral, relaxed state. Watching the water surpass perhaps blurred tick marks, so relaxed. Heavy drops, creating tiny circles, expanding out into larger circles. Just about to the halfway point, to the deepest depths. Doubling and relaxing so naturally. Approaching the sublime levels of your deeper mind. Becoming deeper and deeper as you watch the water raise higher. Deeper down because you know how to relax now as you choose to. Always rising and becoming deeper. Protected, safe, and sound. Closer and closer to the top, safe to drift downwards. Approaching the final last bit of the vessel left to fill until it overflows, until it has reached its deepest level yet. So you can prepare to enter your deepest trance. Finally reaching the top, the water fills the vessel, overflowing. Go deeply into trance. all the way in, basked in total bliss, continuing to go deeper where your unconscious parts are at the forefront, guiding you to the resolutions that best tailor your specific needs, because it really does have your very best interest at heart. And being so relaxed, you are now absorbing the answers from your unconscious mind. And as you drift deeper and deeper, I'm going to tell you a story about my grandfather, who is passionate about tending to his garden. So naturally, I was curious to know how he became so very skilled. And he told me of his first days in the garden as a young boy long ago. His own grandfather gave him the task of pulling up weeds in the family garden. He very much disliked this task. Of course, he had dreamt of tending to his favorite fruits and his favorite fragrant flowers. But he grudgingly pulled the weeds from sun up to sundown. All day long turned into all week long, turned into all month long, turned into all year long. He began to feel like he was repeating the same day again and again and again, until finally one day his grandfather placed in his hand the key to the greenhouse where all of the seeds were stored. "I think you're ready," his grandfather said. "You've spent enough time with those weeds. Now go to the greenhouse and choose seeds of your favorite plants. These seeds will become your plants to tend to. You'll still need to pull some weeds, but I trust that you'll focus on the plants you've chosen to care for." His passion, along with his very own corner of garden, began to grow, and he became unbothered by pulling weeds, now having his treasures to protect. So much so that at the moment a weed began to break through, before it could even take root, he'd protectively pull it from the soil. So he made a game out of detecting them before they even knew they were weeds themselves. Up they would come. He too grew up in that garden and observed through the years that by tending to the weeds sooner than later, they would become weaker, slower, taking up less space. In place of the weeds, nutrients, and forming a bond with his plants. Sometimes he would even write songs for them. Having his own choices to make truly enriched his experience there. So as you desire to prioritize relaxation now, you can easily find new ways to automatically soothe yourself. You can naturally recognize when it's time to take a deep breath and remember that you are worthy of internal peace. You can discover the joy of automatically finding ways to feel safe and protected. More ways to send love and understanding to yourself. Knowing that you can be sure that you will thoroughly enjoy the slumber that surrounds you now, and letting yourself enter a deeper level of peace. Which presents a window of opportunity to invite you to fall asleep. And accepting that invitation while saying farewell to all far, far away previous states or patterns, and adopting these new patterns that support these wonderful feelings of relaxation. Having made room for the positive and new. So just by accepting these words, as easily as venturing deeper and farther into your path, which leads you to another path on which to venture. You can decide now to fall into your rejuvenating sleep. A very deep and restful sleep, which you know you deserve. So as sleep surrounds, enveloping every last section, it's becoming easier and easier. To fall into deeper sleep and to float on and on. Wrapped up in peace and tranquility as the blurred transition phase drapes over and complete initiation into your most favorite of dreams. Sending you to this realm to drift and dream. Tucked into sleep. Sweetest dreams and good night.